Hello, and welcome to episode 36 of Chapter 1. We're already off topic. 3 women, 1 podcast, and an irrational love of baked goods, potato products, and morally gray men. I'm Mary.
Catherine. I'm Elizabeth. I just always wait for your thing.
Never know what they're going to be.
You were like, baked good potato? I'm like, yes.
So this week, we are super excited to be covering the first 15 chapters of FuryBound, which was one of our most anticipated releases this year after reading FuryBound and covering it on the podcast. And this is the first time we're actually getting to do like the next book in the series for the podcast. So that's exciting and that's fun.
It's like a milestone.
As soon as this came out, we just knew. We were like, we need to cover this because we've covered FuryBound. We loved it. More Stark Therion. Let's go. Before we get started.
More Kratos, actually.
Yeah. More of the wolves. And Asa was even fun in these first chapters. I was like, get it, girl. All right, what are we having tonight?
Kratos to my hear me out.
Okay. You and your fuzzy 4-legged things. If it's got 4 legs and a tail, you're like, hear me out.
I did charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
You can't really see it.
It's so fancy. I can't see it. It looks
it.
great. I'm wishing I had charcuterie.
It's got like, we got apples, grapes, cheese, chocolate covered pretzels, chocolate chip cookies. We got cheddar. We got white cheddar. We got some pepperoni and salami and rosemary crackers. And a lot of this is because I did not finish these chapters until today. And because I sat on my porch and read all day, I did not eat properly. So I was like, how do we feel about girl dinner? And I'll throw a baked good on it. So
Elizabeth's
that's where
girl
we are.
dinner.
And then I have a brown sugar vanilla chai is what we're.
I'm also rocking a vanilla chai.
Hey.
Crema and Vine mug.
Nice.
Shout out to Crema and Vine, which is not where I am now.
It's okay. I should go get my crema and vine hat.
There you go.
Right.
So
you got the Danbo, the brick.
I got the brick hoodie.
The brick.
Yes.
yay.
Yay. Adam.
So I baked last week a lot, and then I don't know, I just didn't this week. So I have, like these are like the kind that you like get in the refrigerated section. It's like the dough that you can make cookies, but this is the ones where you don't have to actually bake them. You can just eat them. And I didn't even feel like baking the dough, so I have raw cookie dough.
Woohoo. Honestly, I love
Sounds
that
good.
for you. I'll eat the cookie dough that you're not supposed to eat. Like,
This one says it's safe.
James gets on me all the time because I will straight up eat some cookie dough. And he's like, you're going to end up with salmonella. And I'm like, I don't know. I've been doing this my whole life and haven't gotten salmonella. So
I mean, that's true. I'm a batter licker from way back, and
Yeah.
nothing bad has ever happened.
Dang.
no one ever let me lick the spoon growing up. No one ever let me lick the spoon growing up.
Someone should.
And so when I became a
Yes.
parent, I was like, I'm not going to be that mom.
Mama Carol wouldn't let you lick a spoon.
No, never.
Nina, well, I can see Nina
bake
not
much.
letting you lick a spoon, but Mama Carol.
Well, Mama Carol didn't bake much. Let's just,
That's true.
I'm like, we all know her. Love you, Mom.
I'm like, your dad would have let you lick the spoon. What?
No, isn't that weird? You would think so, but no. He would give me one piece of cookie dough if he was making cookies.
I'm gonna give hell about it when I'm in town and we go on our little bookstore trip. I'm gonna be like,
He had it in his head. I don't know why, but he had it in his head that chocolate chip cookie dough was better for you than sugar cookie dough. So he would let me have a little square of the chocolate chip cookie dough, but if it was sugar cookies, sorry, you can't have it. I'm like, I don't think they put more egg.
Lunchables.
Right?
Right.
So, I don't know. So, yeah, I always let my kids lick the spoon now. And James has gotten used to it, but internally, he's just like, well, just don't give him so much. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what the levels are. Like,
in another life, James would have made an excellent risk analysis guy.
that's actually pretty accurate, yeah. Let's make a pro-con list. Let's look at the statistics. Someone look it up. Okay, sorry. What do you have the cookie dough and your vanilla chai.
Yeah, it's going.
Tangent.
It's not real fancy over here tonight.
Honestly, I love it. Okay, FuryBound.
All right,
Let's do
so
it.
FuryBound.
I'm excited.
So FuryBound opens up basically where we left off at in FuryBound because Marin
Like right where we left off.
right. Marin has just killed the king. Killian, revealed he was a siphon and basically a vessel for Alistair Brightbane. And, she's stuck with that engagement bracelet and it's like stealing all her powers. And Killian, like his going away present was that he turned Marin's sister, Sayla, who she just rescued from like the dungeons below, is a siphon and had like bitten one of the other bonded. Helene. So in chapter 1, as we get started, we did find out that Helene lives. I was shocked. I thought that girl was a goner.
Good for her.
Yeah.
You know? And then we don't really hear much from her other than she's guarding Sayla. And I'm like, why are we throwing her into another traumatic situation? Like, she just got bit by her. And you're like, you know what? Go guard her. I'd be like, you know what? Take a week off. Jeez.
Well, she's one of her and, is it something with a G.
Grigor or whatever?
Yeah, I got him written down here later.
Whenever
They're
his
like the
name was
only
like,
ones. They were the only ones present during all of that. They're like the only ones other than Stark and Homeboy. I wrote his name down too, and I've already forgotten it. It's like the older guy that they call in.
In my head, I'm wanting to say Archibald, but I know that's
not. It's like Astrid or Ostrid or I don't know.
Hold on.
We'll get to it here real quick.
We'll get
Aldrich.
there.
That's it. Aldrich. There was
Every
a
time
lot
I
of
see his
names,
name,
okay?
I don't know why. I'm like Archibald. And I'm like, I know that's not, I'm reading the letters. I know that's not what it says. But like my brain reads Archibald.
But like, those are the only people who know that she's a siphon. And so they're trying to keep it a secret. So, you know, got to keep your circle small, I guess.
I'm just saying, that poor girl. I'd be like, I quit, man.
So her wolf is able to heal Helene, and she lives, which honestly I didn't expect her to live, so I was kind of like, okay. And then I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed that she lived, because I was like, not that I had anything against my homegirl Helene over here, but it was just like the stakes get higher when you start off in your characters, right? And the fact that she's not dead, I'm like, kind of like, well, damn it. But then she does.
To be fair, many people have died in these chapters,
right?
So.
And she does, like, I do like how the authors are really using her and the other guy to kind of, like, play back into the plot here, and I'm hoping that continues as the story goes on. So, I'm like, I hope you kept her alive for a reason. Like, she's going to be important maybe later.
I feel like mainly all we see from her is
guard duty.
Guard duty. She won't even talk. There's like, we got her doing this, and she's like, poor thing. She don't even get to say anything.
So, Marin is overwhelmed with emotion about her sister, and it's causing her shadows to really be out of control. But her wolf Anassa helps calm her down, and Stark keeps her from doing anything super stupid, like getting mauled by her sister. Kratos, Stark's wolf, holds Sayla down, but she's insanely strong for being like 11 years old. And now she's also a siphon, so you're getting to see how strong she actually is with that. And he's struggling as this like super strong, crazy alpha wolf to hold her down. So Anassa's actually having to go help her. And I kind of like that the authors wrote that in there, because you think 11-year-old kid, even like 11-year-old vampire kid, you know, like you don't think too much, but you're realizing how dangerous she actually could be to everyone just in that little scene. So I'm like,
big contrast from the end of these chapters where she's just like eating venison at the coronation, just chilling.
Yeah. So Marin has to make the heartbreaking decision to put her sister back in the dungeons that she just rescued her from to keep everyone safe while they figure out what to do with her. And she sends for the leader Aldrich, who's the oldest of the bonded that's there, to help. And she opens up her mind to him, showing him everything that's happened, including the truth about her royalty, Alistair Brightbane, Killian, and everything that's happened leading up to this. And she asks for his help in figuring out how to help her sister Sayla. Aldrich suggests sustaining her with animal blood, you know, very Twilight, vegetarian vampire. But so he suggests doing that for the time being, and Kratos and Anassa leave to go hunt an elk to bring back to her. Meanwhile, Stark tells her that she needs to rest, but she refuses to leave her sister, and a few minutes later he shows back up with a sleeping pallet that he drags down to her, and then he stays with her, which was real cute.
It was really cute.
So when she begins to fall asleep, she hears a voice in her head, a male voice that she's heard before. It's the voice that told her to go get the crown. And so it's upset with her that she's left a door open that they say cannot be closed, and he's here too. And then the shadows swirl around her, choking her, causing her to wake up. So before we move on, do we have theories about who this voice is? Because later we get Killian in her head, right? So I think the he is here too reference is that Killian's in there, and this voice is upset that she's left, you know, whatever open to Killian.
I have no freaking clue who this person is.
Okay, so this is my first, I have a lot of unhinged theories for this episode, but my first unhinged theory is I feel like all along, you know, you had Killian, who then later we learn is like a vessel for Alistair Brightbane. But I'm like, what if he's a vessel, but they're also separate? And what if that's Alistair talking to her?
Why would he be upset about the door then?
No, maybe he don't like Killian.
But he's with Killian too.
He don't want to be with Killian. He probably wants to transfer to her.
Oh, that's a good theory.
If
I'm thinking he
well,
wants.
this is on the basis of if that theory is right.
I'm thinking
What
real
do you
enemies
like?
to lovers. I'm like, maybe Alistair wants himself a queen, but yeah, he may want her body. She got way more power than old
Got way
Killian.
more power. But that's if that's him.
We don't know who it is. I just
Right.
have this. I have a theory, and we haven't been really introduced to anything else other than there was like this prince siphon that seemed pretty okay-ish. Wasn't it a prince or something back in FuryBound? Do you guys remember? It was when they were off battling the siphons, her and Stark.
I do remember that. Didn't we have the theory that it was Killian?
I can't remember.
Or am I thinking of a different book again? I feel like
We've read so many books.
wasn't there like some mysterious
We should have
somebody?
watched our own recap. Like we should went back and rewatched the episode.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because later you're gonna get to this when she's picking her cabinet, she picks Igor,
That's-
and I'm like,
yeah, but that's who
his
trained her to
wife,
fight, huh? That's homeboy who trained her to fight back in the day.
yes, but his wife. Remember at the end of the other book, she cannot be trusted. So if he's going there and he's learning all these secrets and he's telling his wife,
Okay, wait. I don't remember her not being able to be trusted. Why can't she be trusted?
it's just the way the book. That's what I thought. The book, the way FuryBound ended, she was a little jealous of all the time that. I mean, y'all don't remember this?
I don't remember this.
Okay, so let me just go back. Well, I'll find it and we'll go back because she had one little bit where it was from her point of view.
From
And-
Maeve's point of view?
From Igor's wife.
What?
Yeah, I mean, not like a full chapter, I don't think.
I don't remember that.
How is it?
Yeah.
How is it that
I don't, basically.
I'm questioning now whether I read this book at all?
It alluded to, like, her not being trusted.
Okay. Jot
So
that
she's
down,
like
and we'll
Julian.
maybe at the end of this episode we'll go look real quick. I have it.
Yeah,
right
I'll
over
have to
there.
look for it.
Okay.
But anyway, not really important right now. So,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. So I was like, I don't know if having Igor there is a good idea because I remember I was under the impression his wife was a little busybody and not to be trusted.
But Marin wakes up after this voice in her head. And once she's awake, Killian breaks through into her mind and all of the bonded minds, using power that only the Sovereign Alpha and Marin have, which is to speak to all of, the bonded and the wolves and the riders telepathically. He calls her an usurper and shares selective memories that make Marin look like the villain in this situation. It shows her killing the king, trying to kill him, and him being like terrified of her. I put all my trust in her and like she's turned on me. And so it makes her, of course, look really bad. And then he says that she is not to be trusted and that she stole the throne and basically that everyone should join him instead. Marin has all the bonded meet her in the arena, and from there she goes into all of their minds and extends to those on the battlefield at the front lines as well. And she tells them the actual truth of what happened. And she ends up showing them her memories of like the children being held in the dungeons, Killian's confessions, the truth about Killian and the king being siphons, and even showing like images of Killian with fangs, right? And all of these things showing the truth, along with the fact that she is the queen and descended from the original Sturmfrost queens, and says that she wants to change things and be like a fair and just ruler for everyone. And the Sovereign Alpha also joins in this little talk and says that she supports Marin's claims and backs her. And after that, slowly people start coming forward to support her, including Aldrich, who's like first up, and like bows to her. Then her friends start to come up along with the rest of the Strategos pack. Pretty much all the instructors come forward, as well as some people from some of the other packs as well. But there's still a lot hanging back, including some of the newer raw bonds and some of the older bonded that are still there.
He was Stark's spy. Prina was Stark's spy.
Well, Stark's a good guy.
Yes, that's just where I was getting confused because I was like, she's over there telling secrets and stuff.
Who is Maeve then?
Maeve.
Didn't it? Am I losing my mind? I think I am.
Prina is.
Just don't mind me. Just keep going. I think
That
I'm
might be a
losing-
different book.
It might be. Just don't mind me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So of course, like Jonah is one of the ones hanging back, which he was a major pain in the ass in book 1 and is apparently going to continue to be a major pain in the ass in book 2. So he comes forward and he makes this big old speech calling her a liar and supporting Killian. And like at the end of his little speech, he calls for her freaking death. He's like, death to the usurper. And he like rallies all these people to come and attack her. So we get into chapter 3 and everyone's on their wolves, but Meryn is really quickly knocked off her wolf and her crown gets taken. And she sends Stark after it, which we're also kind of learning that a lot of her power is coming from having that crown on. Because once that crown's knocked off, she don't have as much power.
She really
And
is.
The shadows are like, Meryn who?
right.
Like,
The crown's gone and she's just like, I can't do shit. So,
I'm like, it's giving Maui and his hook from Moana.
So during everything kind of erupts into this battle, Stark goes off to take after the crown and the rest of the arena is erupting in this big battle. During the battle, a few key things sort of happen. One is not only does everyone's power suddenly seem stronger, but it also tends to rebound off of Meryn and back onto the wielder who wielded it at her several times during the battle, which is new. And two, that while trying to use the Direbound blade to control the pack and try to like rein everything in because she doesn't want any more death or anything to happen, so she's like, just make it stop, it just sort of explodes into like a million pieces. I'm like, girl, you it's like day one on the job and you're breaking everything.
Which she does say as much. Like, I think she's like, this is like the centuries old thing, and like, I just got it, and like,
Bye.
Now it's gone.
So Stark ends up retrieving her crown and tosses it back to her and yells for her to use her powers to defend herself against an incoming attack. Meryn is hesitant, but she ends up drawing on her shadows and tells them to stop them, these attackers that are coming after her. And well, they did. She doesn't have a ton of control yet, so those shadows just went wild, and they were like, got you, girl.
It was the eternal stop.
Yeah.
Like, they stopped forever. Like,
So she ends up killing like a dozen riders and wolves, like just taking care of business.
which didn't help with
cause.
her cause, because Jonah's all like, see?
See,
And I'm
she's
like,
evil.
aren't you the one that was just like, let's get into this huge battle? Like, whatever. The hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy. So Jonah ends up leaving because he's a pansy. And Meryn once again addresses the remaining people who are left there with that, she's upset that while they're obeying her and, bowing down to her, they're also very clearly now afraid of her. And she's like, I don't want to be a leader who leads with fear. So Meryn ends up leaving and she goes back to Stark's office where she just mentally spirals into this whole mess because she's feeling guilt and grief and just like fear. And she begins to like just kind of lose it. And so she starts like punching the floor and realizes that physical pain is kind of helping drown out all of the other emotional train wreck that she's feeling. And so she just starts pummeling her fists into the floor over and over again. So then we go into chapter 4, where we get our first Stark point of view.
As soon as I saw Stark's name, I was like, here we go. I'm ready.
Like, buckle up.
Like, I was just ready for Kratos, man. After we had that like one little sneak peek of Kratos at the end of Direbound, I was like, I'm ready for this. He's so funny.
It took me a bit to get into this, but hitting Stark's chapter, I was like, okay, I'm ready now. Let's do it.
Let's go. So in Stark's point of view, we kind of backtrack just a little bit because he's still in the arena and he's helping direct kind of the cleanup of the mess and disposal of the dead bodies and questioning how wolves and riders can suddenly disobey alphas like that, because that's never been able to be done before. Like an alpha gives an order and everybody listens, and now they're not doing that and they're like turning against one another. And so he's just unsure how that's
Do we think it's because of the Dire Blade? Well, no, because it happened before the Dire Blade.
It's got to be Killian's influence with probably the bracelet or something.
Well, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I hit a lot of topics in my
Also,
brain.
maybe, I don't know, we're going to get into the priestess later. Maybe she gives me the heebie-jeebies.
She's a problem. She is a problem. At the very least, she's a hoarder. I mean,
At the very least, she's suspected jewel thief.
that is abst. Okay. At worst, she is villainous.
So Kratos lets him know that through the bond, NASA has informed him that Meryn is like not doing okay. So he asks Kratos to show him, and Kratos opens the bond up that he normally keeps closed, which allows Stark to feel everything Meryn is feeling. And aboard Kratos, Stark's like, let's go get my girl. And they sprint for her. And he gets to his office, slides off, storms in, and orders her to quit hurting herself. Meryn refuses, raising her fist again, but Stark grabs her and yanks her to him, and tells her to hit him instead, and to just hurt him if she needs to hurt somebody. Anassa ends up healing her wounds like right away, and Stark gets kind of shitty with Anassa and scolds her and says she's not allowed to like hurt herself and get healed. So like Anassa needs to not do that anymore. Which I was like,
I think NASA was like, yeah. I mean, she didn't
Fair.
say it, but you know, Anassa didn't disagree.
I was sort of like, bold move, bossing around your wolf's mate over there.
I also find it interesting that she's like punching the floor and he's like, I want her. I'm like, I don't know if this is the time, you know? Like, I just feel like read the room a little bit. Like, protective, sure. Turned on, maybe not. Like, you know?
Well, it is like in their instinct to want to like, because that's why they lick the tattoos and stuff, like to lick the wounds. And he was wanting to lick the wounds.
I'm just saying, he's like, Kratos, you're killing me here. And he says, sorry. There's a hint of amusement in his tone. And I'm like, we're joking. And she's over here in a spiral. Love them. I'm just saying, like... Take a minute.
Well, Kratos ain't worried. He's just staring at his girl with 4 legs. She's in her beautiful silver coat.
She is cute. She real pretty.
So Stark and Meryn end up bickering back and forth, with her saying that Stark's treating her like a toddler, and him saying, well, then just don't act like one. And, you know, just love those two.
Fair.
Stark then informs her that they need to begin planning her coronation, and that the mother priestess of the faceless goddess, that's a mouthful, will preside over it, and is going to be escorted there by the Sovereign Alpha, which, if we remember right, is also his mother. So Stark then takes her to meet the castle matron. I'm going to start screwing up names now, just FYI. So I think it's like Eleanor? Bernard.
It's spelled like Alienor, I think.
Big A.
Eleanor.
Miss
I don't
Bernard.
know if that's correct, but...
But she...
Pronunciation guide in the back.
Is her
Yeah.
name in there?
I don't know.
Hold
I just
please.
know that there's a pronunciation guide in the back.
Okay, I got Venna. I got... No.
No, it's not in there.
Anywho.
They
Fail.
figured we could get that one.
They were like, this one's easy. You don't need it.
Well, it's spelled like alien or. So like alien or...
Eleanor. Say Eleanor.
Alienor.
AB. She asked her about who she would like. He takes her there because like she's over like facilities. She's like over everything. She's also going to be the one to help her get her room and like get some clothes, and like she's over all the servants. Like she's just, you know, she's running the show, right? Behind the
Castle
scenes.
Mama.
Yeah. So she ends up asking Meryn who's going to be on her council, and Meryn is like, "What's a council?" Because she's very clueless about how everything is run. And like, she's like, I didn't even know there was a council, let alone who's even on it. So the castle matron kind of gives her the rundown and like who the previous king had in his council, which most of them make sense except for his family members that were on it, right? So she decides to keep pretty much everybody that was already on the council, because it's a lot of like the alphas, it's the sovereign alpha, it's the castle matron, you know, it's like, you know, people to advise her. And she seems to feel like that all makes sense. So she keeps all of those, but decides to replace the former king's relatives, because their jobs were mostly there as like event planners and supposedly like a liaison to the common people, which is like the king's relatives seems like the worst choice for that. So plus we want anybody associated with former king probably not on board.
Of course, you know, what's her face? The matron was just like, which method would you prefer? Beheading, imprisonment, dismemberment by wolves? And I was like, dang.
Yeah. I know. I was like, dang, girl. Meryn's like panicking. She's like, no. Just like maybe have them move out.
Like maybe just like your typical firing, you know? Like,
But I liked how she was,
like they
which
can
I
see
can't remember
HR
for
on their
them,
way
but
out.
she was like, give them a month's pay for the people that did not want to work there, didn't feel
That was for the
comfortable working
servants,
there.
yes. Any servants
And
who
I was
didn't
like,
wanna
that's
continue.
appropriate. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's fair.
She's very nice.
She did replace
She's her
her.
best.
She did replace those relatives with her own friends, which also feels a little nepotistic. But also, she has a very small circle of people she trusts, so I get that.
She also did say that it was temporary.
Right? She would, you know, try to replace them later with people who fit better. She was just having to like make decisions on the fly. So I got it. Right?
I don't blame her.
So, and like you were saying, Elizabeth, she also had said that any servants who did not support her or were like afraid of her, like no one was going to be forced to work for them. So, she said that they were free to leave, they could get their pay, whatever. So the matron then tries to give her the king's rooms because she's the queen. That's where she would stay. But Meryn refuses to stay there, and Stark suggests that she takes his mother's rooms, the Sovereign Alpha rooms, instead, and, takes her there. Before leaving, the matron suggests that maybe there's some gaps in her knowledge about, like, what her responsibilities as queen is and some of the etiquette that would happen. So Meryn doesn't actually take it that bad. In fact, she's, like, kind of laughing. And she ends up just asking for books, which the matron was like very excited to provide for her. So she gets like an armful of books that might help her. At the end of the chapter, we get some of Stark's thoughts about how he thinks that she could be a great ruler with some time and that she deserves to be worshipped. And I was like, by you. But then he's like also in his head about like how he needs to stay away from her because, he thinks his darkness is going to corrupt her, and basically he thinks he's bad for her.
Well, he thinks he's the one that is technically the reason why those people are dead, because he told her to use the power.
Also, I think, he's always been like this ruthless, I don't want to be like assassin, but he's just like this ruthless warrior. He's always been used to like take care of business and kill things and protect and whatever. And I feel like he thinks he's not a good guy, even though we all know Stark's a good guy.
He's morally gray.
He's just a little morally gray. We love morally gray.
Good, but
So
he gets the job done.
I love how later he like kills that guy and he's like, it's just a cousin. Like, nobody cares. And I'm like,
but at the same time, I was like, right.
And her being like, are we just going to go on a murder tour?
I was like, they're not good people.
at each stop, somebody's got to die. And, it's better the cousin than the king, Like, it's got to be somebody. Whatever.
So in chapter 5, we're back in Meryn's point of view, and she's in her new rooms. We learn a little bit about Anassa, and that her mother was bonded to the last Sternfrost queen, and Anassa had been searching for the right rider and waited centuries for Meryn to come along. So she's like the oldest wolf there.
I loved this scene. It was such a good, moment.
It was needed, too. There were a lot of things they had to say.
And settle between the two of them. Because they had some animosity at first. When they first bonded.
I feel like that is a kindness, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, it was rough. And I like that.
And I think as a reader, we get closure because...
Well, I love that Anassa got to express how hurt she was, which is why she reacted the way...
I was excited because it really reaffirmed my thoughts from when we were first reading FuryBound, where I was like, well, if I was an Asa, I would be pissed if I waited this long. And you're like, I don't want any of this.
And then finding out that she's been so lonely and she's been by herself, and then just to immediately be rejected by the person you've been waiting all this time for, that's a rough feeling.
Yeah. But Meryn didn't know any of that.
But then she
wasn't told any of that.
Right, and she also admitted
she was.
Anassa did also apologize for her hand in it, and she said that she was sorry that she could have handled it better. They both had a,
like Anassa.
Sorry, I hurt you. Sorry, I hurt you.
I know you don't want this. You have your own plans, but you're destined for more.
So we also
it was a good scene. I liked it.
We also learned that from Kratos and Anassa's bond, that not only can Stark and Meryn communicate through their minds, but also emotions, if they're strong enough, will leak through the bond and they can feel like each other as well. And her friends end up arriving to her room, and she tells them that, you have been promoted. You're now on my council. So everybody's excited, because, except for Venna. But everyone else, especially Isabel. Isabel's like, I get to party plan? Hell yeah, bitches. So, but Venna seems hesitant, but only because she thinks that the only reason that Meryn asked her is because of her twin sister Isabel, because she's in a different pack. But Meryn assures her. She tells her, I really like that she told her, you don't have to be on the council. If you don't want to be here, I'm not making you do this. But she's like, but I really want you because you're basically the smartest out of any of us, and you don't have to party plan. And she ends up giving her another mission of figuring out how to get that stupid bracelet off. And so Venna's very excited and very happy. When Meryn ends up going to sleep that evening, a voice enters her head, waking her up to what she describes as a shadow dreamscape. And it's Killian in there, being like, hello, kitten. I was just like...
I thought of you when I read it.
I know, I did too. I was like,
Our little kitty cat.
God.
Blech.
It's like, you know, when you like put like paper in a fire and it just starts to like crinkle in. Like that's me when you call me kitty cat. Like I did.
Do you know what that's from? Wedding Crashers?
Yeah. It's been a minute since I've seen that. But yeah. I also wanted to make another point. You see kind of the difference between Kratos and Anassa in how they handle the bond, because from jump, Anassa has shielded Marin from it. Like, it was never a discussion. From the beginning, she was like, I'm shielding her, not doing it. Meanwhile, Kratos is like,
Little snippets.
I want this.
I want you to feel this. I want you to feel it.
What? Me? Lift the wall?
And I love how Stark is like, Kratos, close it. And he's like, I haven't done anything. It's closed.
I also like how later, when we get to it later, and his mom's like, I want you to woo her. And Kratos is like, yes, I agree. We should do that.
I stand behind this. I don't like her, but I like that plan. Like, because like
Kratos is over there with like a
5 seconds
flag,
before.
like, Team Marin, let's go.
Let's do it. Because he's probably just lazy and he doesn't feel like maintaining this like little shield all the time. But it's just funny how you see like the differences between the two wolves, because Anassa is very protective and is like, she doesn't need to feel that, you know, that she's got a lot. And then meanwhile, Kratos is just like, meh, like, let him know.
Want.
Let him know.
So when we get back into chapter 6, Killian is in this weird dream world with her, and he gaslights the crap out of Marin, right? He's over there telling her that, like, you know, he's blaming everything on Alistair, which is, again, is where I'm like, are they separate entities? Like, can they exist on their own? But, so he's blaming
Like, there's a multiple personality situation.
he blames everything on Alistair. And he attempts to convince her to come back to him and that they can defeat Alistair together. And she basically just tells him to fuck off. Like, she is not taking any of his crap. And Killian goes back to being evil and does this whole, like, you're mine and I'm never letting you go. And also really tries to get in her head of, like, you can't, you know, like, you can't rule on your own. You need me. You can't do this without me. You know, you don't know how to be a queen. You're just like a commoner. And I was like, you know what? Hate you.
Be like, you know what? You're right. I don't know what to do.
I don't. But you know what? It's going to be better than with you.
It's still better than what you've done.
Right. It's just like, you make solid points, however, you still suck. Like, big time.
I know. I'd
Can
be
you
like,
imagine her in that dream world being like,
man.
do you know what I did to the blade?
Did you see that? It's gone, fam. Like, there ain't nothing.
Sorry. So when she wakes up, Stark is there because Anassa sensed her fear and, you know, let them know. And so he came running. And she lies and says it was just a bad dream. And Stark is also irritated because as he like is looking around and he's seeing the mess in her room, but he ends up leaving her to sleep. The mess in her room is like
bothering me a little bit.
Well, I mean, a little bit, but also like it's just it's so funny.
Well,
it just keeps coming up. Like Stark is so mad.
Well, I don't know that.
Well, it keeps getting worse. I'm like, you are going to have rodents. Like, this is not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm wondering if she's depressed because I don't remember when she had to step up from her mother. She took care of the house. She took care of her sister. She took care of business. I mean, she stepped up.
She did tell Stark that she's never had this much stuff before.
Yeah, she's never had things before.
That is true.
And so she's like kind of just excited to have stuff. It's just sort of everywhere.
I do feel like you could clean up like your fruit.
But she's not even taking care of it.
But I also, she's not, you know, like right now, she's exhausted.
She really is exhausted.
Later, you know, as we get into this, we're going to see she's going to refuse to sleep, basically.
Well, you know what? When she doesn't sleep, she should probably try cleaning during that time.
But you know what? Here's my thing. She told Stark, well, I told the assistant, or what is it?
Her attendant thing.
Attendant. I told the attendant, you know, I made the mess. I don't want her to clean it up. And I'm like, well, okay. All right.
Well, she doesn't. She's
like,
I'll clean it.
Love that.
Eventually. Which is basically how I feel about my kitchen half the time. I'm like, I'll clean it.
Fair. You know what? There's been plenty of time in my life where my house looked like a...
It's also me with my laundry. I like walk by and I'm like, that's getting to be a lot.
I caught up on my laundry on Monday. Completely caught up on it. I can't even get into my dressers because their stuff's so full. And let me just tell you, during that process, I about threw everything away. Like, I was so done. By the time it was literally like 11 at night, and I am folding clothes, and I'm like, "What is this? Why do we have this? I don't."
The process of washing and doing laundry really isn't that bad. You throw it in a hole, you hit a button, it does its thing. You throw it in another hole, you hit a button, it does its thing. It's the aftermath. It's the folding.
The putting it away.
It's the organizing.
Putting it away is the worst. Especially like the washing and drying here, because we got when we moved in, it didn't come with a washer and dryer, and we had to buy them. And we chucked it all this research, picked out the ones, right? And we also don't have a lot of space for our washer and dryer, so we had to get ones that could stack. And so this one is like super cool. It's got like the speed wash, and even I like to add extra rinses to make sure it gets everything out of it. But even then, it's like a 23-minute wash. Like, it's fast. And then the dryer, same thing. It's like super fast. I can do that's part of the reason why my laundry gets a little out of control, because I'm like, I can do like 5 loads in like a couple hours. You just run them back to back.
Took me all day. I mean, I have 2 kids, and they have a lot of clothes, and it's tiny clothes.
And 2 boys, and they get dirty.
And I'm gonna tell you, I was just the rage that overtook my body on Monday while I was doing all the clothes and also like deep cleaning their bedroom. I called Christopher in there. I swept everything that was on the floor, in the middle of the room, both rooms. And I was like, I want you to look at this. You cleaned this morning, supposedly. Look at it. Look at this. Look.
What'd he say?
And I was like, you gotta know this is ridiculous. He's like, I know. And I had a trash bag in there. I said, you better grab what you want, because I'm getting rid of stuff.
So Faith was really good. Her room would look clean if you didn't look real close.
Right.
All the time. Like, right? So it always looked clean. You're like, dang, girl, you're doing great. Until you like open the closet, and that's where everything went. My son, on the other hand, his room would look like a disaster. But then you'd be like, clean it. And he would clean it. And then also it would look cleaner. It never looked clean. But it would look cleaner until you looked real close. Like, and you didn't even have to look real close. You could just like, I don't know, glance under the bed. He'd stuff stuff under his pillows. He'd stuff it under the blankets. Like,
that is Christopher.
Everywhere. Toys. Everywhere. Also, he was really bad when he was younger about sneaking down Little Debbie cakes, and I would find like Little Debbie wrappers just everywhere.
I can see Christopher or Noah doing that, actually. Anyway, sorry. Back to
FuryBound. So, where were we at? We were at.
She's messy.
She's messy.
She is messy.
Clothes, I understand, but girl, pick up your food. Like,
that's true.
Killian leaves her to go to sleep, but Marin is afraid to sleep now because she's scared that Killian's going to show up and she's going to somehow get stuck in that dream world and be unable to escape. So in chapter 7, Sayla wakes up and is back to being more like herself. And Marin has the cell opened and is trying to go to her, but Sayla stops her, afraid she might hurt her, and says that she's now evil and basically begs Marin to kill her. And Marin is obviously horrified. This is like her little baby sister that she basically raised and took care of.
She's 11.
Yeah. And so, of course, she's refusing. She's like, absolutely not. And promises her that they'll find a way to fix it. And she gives Sayla her mother's opal necklace that she took back from the house, back in the first book. And she ends up giving that to her to help comfort her. Marin insists on Sayla moving into her quarters, but Aldrich is concerned because new siphons, they have a sire bond. And when Marin hears that, she's like what the bond between, like the wolves and us have? And he's like, yeah, kind of, like really similarly. And so they must follow orders when compelled, and they have a mental connection. And so Marin asks Sayla outright if she can sense Killian, in her head or anywhere. And Sayla swears that she doesn't. And so NASA,
like it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. I'm concerned about our girl Sayla because, like, she's just a kid, right? You want to root for her, but also, like,
Marin is gonna wake up with a dagger, like, hanging over her, like,
it's gonna be a problem
because they're like, oh, Sayla's in her chambers now. Cool. That was a good decision.
And NASA encourages this. She's like, bring her back. Takes her right into the pack. She's like, I got me some babies. Like, bring them.
And she's so sweet with her. She just seems to just love her. I love Anassa.
She just tells her to bring her into the spare room. She's like, I'll watch over her, and we'll bring Helene and Gregor, however you want to pronounce it.
Gregor.
But
Grigor.
Greg.
It's in the pronunciation guide. We're gonna be 2 for 2.
We're gonna be referencing it all night.
A, B, C, D. Nope.
No,
He's not in there.
again.
Big G, Big G coming back.
This.
So Helene and Grigori, how are you? You ended up pronouncing it when y'all read it. They're gonna call them back from
Probably
the front
pronounced it
lines
differently every time I came across it.
because again, they're the only ones that know that Sayla's a siphon. So like they're the ones that really are going to be the safest to guard her and protect her, and not so much even protecting her. It's more like protecting everybody else from her. So.
That's fair.
So, theories. I know we said it's going to be a problem, but do we have theories on the Sirebond?
Well, we don't know for sure, I guess, that it was Killian that did it.
Well, and if Alistair was in his body, who's the Sirebond to? Is it to Alistair or is it to Killian? Because I'm getting strong vibes that Alistair and Killian are two, like, while they exist in his body, they're two separate entities.
I agree. I can agree to that. I don't know. I'm wondering if that little opal necklace is maybe protecting
Her from it.
her from
Sayla?
it.
That's
Sayla,
the
I'm wondering.
Which
That means that necklace is coming off.
because we get really good artwork of the
Do you know who's gonna
crown,
steal the necklace?
and so like we get the opal.
The priestess.
Probably
priestess
because
gonna
that
steal the
woman's
necklace and maybe
obsessed with a
forge it.
stone.
Yeah, and then that's when the trouble's gonna start.
When we first, I know we'll get there, but when we first meet her, and she's like, but do you blah, 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 I was like, oh, she's crazy. Like,
Even NASA was like, she's a fundamentalist.
no, she's like, she's a zealot.
Yeah, she's
Same
a
thing.
zealot. He is well off the deep end.
Yeah. But like, it very, I don't know. I don't know if it's Killian or if it's Alistair. I mean, I'm like, was it like a rush job? Like he had someone do it for him? Or, I mean, the assumption is that it's Killian, right? But
I don't think he would have had someone do it for him. I feel like it's either Alistair or Killian. I don't think we could have got
Unless
lucky and
we
it could have been the
introduced
king and
to a
he's
new
dead
character.
now, but I don't think the king would have done it either. Killian seems to have it out for him.
Is this a 3-book?
yes.
Okay. Oh man, this could we may not have been introduced to all the characters or all the key players yet. So
It does say that if you look at the guide in the back that there are light spoilers. So
I have not looked at that.
I'm
just
assuming,
trying to find pronunciations to all the names that are not in the pronunciation list.
like what I'm saying is I'm assuming that maybe there could be different characters. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I have questions about the voice.
Well,
in her
I do
head. I have
know-
questions about the Sirebond.
I do know light spoiler, maybe more than light spoiler. I don't know. But the authors had held back some artwork and they just posted it the other day. And it was artwork of Alistair. And it's not Killian.
Real?
But that makes sense, like them being two different entities.
Did he pull like a Voldemort
Oh,
or something?
Voldemort with the Horcruxes.
And they end up giving him like a. Please tell me that he's not good looking. I'm gonna be really upset if he's good looking.
Well,
because-
he's blonde. I mean, he's like, or white haired, silver haired.
Oh, silver haired.
Like her.
Like part of the family.
Like
Is that her
Frost.
daddy? Is that her dad?
No.
Whoa.
Where is it?
Hang on.
Here it is. Here it is.
You found it?
Of course he's hot to be, what, 800, 900 years old.
Are we sure this is
That's got to
Alistair?
be him.
It says the king.
The king.
Calls her queen. Has slutty little earrings. Oh, that's Lucy and Brightbane.
Oh, Lucy and Brightbane. So that's the prince that we met, I think, in the first book, right?
I don't know.
I love that part of his description is that he has slutty little earrings. I'm like, let me zoom in on these earrings.
I know he does. They
I'm like,
put him
what
in
do we-
there.
I'm like, what do we think is a...
Oh my gosh. I hope we get to meet.
Calls her queen.
I hope
Wait a
we get
minute.
to meet
Wait a
him.
minute. Wait a minute.
Calls her queen.
Please, for the love, don't tell me that we're like switching love interests or something. Calls her queen. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, she is the queen.
I know, but why put it there? That's obvious, right? But why make it a thing? Why?
Well, did you notice, Elizabeth, because I know you read Spark of the Everflame, did you notice that Tomlinson calls her Queenie?
Yeah, I
it reminded
did.
me
I
of
was like,
that
well, I
book.
know where this is going. Like, no shocker there.
All right, so back to chapter 7.
Back to chapter 7.
So Anassa has her bring her back to her room, all that kind of stuff. So Venna takes Marin to the palace blacksmith for help with the bracelet and to look at the dire blade to see if he can fix it. He can't help with either one. He's just not very helpful at all. He says the dire blade isn't human forged, and he ends up giving her a different sword to use instead in the meantime, just so she has some sort of weapon. In chapter 8, we get to have Stark's point of view again. And
But I think it's important to note that she can't, isn't that where she learns she can't chop off her hand?
no, that's when they go into the bonded city to the collector guy.
Dang. Well, hope you read it.
I
They
did.
didn't say that she couldn't. They advised her against it because there
Because
could
the
be
magic
some
could-
magic.
Yeah. Because up till now, she's been talking about, well, worst case
Like,
scenario,
I'll
she'll
just
just chop her hand off.
To be fair, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if it was me, I would just chop off my hand.
Listen, anyone watch The Walking Dead? Okay. Herschel, bit by a zombie, chopped off his
Chop
leg,
it
did
off.
just fine.
Did just fine.
In the zombie apocalypse, you know?
I'm a PTA. I know how to handle it.
Sorry,
Depends on
go
which
ahead.
hand it is. You know, is it my dominant hand? If it's my left hand, I'll probably be all right. If it's my right hand, I'm probably
You know, I'm left-handed, but I do everything else right-handed, so I'd be better off just learning.
Although
how to
honestly, right now I got me a stick shift car right now. I need both
you
hands.
need a right hand.
I can't be nubbing it.
Well, did you hear about the guy that like shot and killed his friend, and he is like this cornhole champion? He has no arms, no legs.
How did he
Cornhole
shoot and kill his friend?
No arms, no legs. Girl, nubs. He tosses cornhole beanbags and
Okay.
can shoot. I will pull it up on my phone and show it to
Let
you.
me just, okay, all right. There
I
was
feel like
a
there's
lot.
some tongue involved with the trigger or something. I don't
There's
know.
a lot of story within that story.
It's so
Like
good.
the guy that shot and killed his friend.
I'm gonna hold up. We're gonna circle back to that because we still
Okay.
got a lot to cover.
Why?
We'll circle back. That might be something.
Sorry.
I'm like looking at our time and I'm just like, we got a lot to go still.
He's a quadruple amputee cornhole player arrested for murder. Murder.
He says my disabilities ain't holding me back.
And they don't. Mm-mm.
Equal opportunity
Anyway, we'll get
murder.
to that at the end. I don't know. You may have to cut that.
So we get Stark's point of view, and we've kind of bounced back again a little bit in time, and he's on Sayla's guard duty, and he also thinks back to when he describes that Kratos is opening the bond the night before and feeling Meryn and finding her dreaming and then touching her, and then she wakes up from that dream. Which, in that scene, Meryn also said, like, her arm burned from where, like, he touched her. And then, you know, she's having that dream. She couldn't get out of it. And then all of a sudden she wakes up and Stark is there. So can Stark get her out of these dreams?
I think so.
I want to say yes.
I think so. I'm telling you, those people are bonded and they don't even know it yet.
Can
think they know.
riders bond together?
I bet you they can.
Can they be mated?
Well, even
Well, they said in the past, like, the queens were always mated. Or,
Right.
you
Well, they
know,
were
with
married or they were having relationships with usually,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm like, is there a
I bet you
significance?
they're bonded and don't even know.
hey, there's a playlist.
Yeah, there's a playlist in the back. There is a playlist in the back. And do you have the extended playlist?
No.
So his mother, Sigrid, the Sovereign Alpha, arrives, and he lets her know that Meryn is in her quarters. And Sigrid's like, that's fine. I'll take the king's quarters if she don't want them. And in his head, it's clear that that man has no love for his mother and is also very much concerned about how much control this woman wants all the time and currently has. Like, he's not thrilled with what she has. So during his briefing about the new queen, Sigrid suggests disposing of Meryn and installing the sister instead, since she is younger and easier to mold, aka control. Within moments of this, Kratos crashes into the room and is like,
He's like, Sayla, who?
yeah. He's like ready to attack her. And Stark's like, Kratos does not approve of killing his mate's rider. So now the Sovereign Alpha knows that there's a mate bond between Anassa and Kratos. And so she suggests that Stark woo her. And this is where Kratos is like, yeah, let's do that.
I agree. I also loved when Sigrid first comes on the scene, right? Like Kratos, his whole thing, like when he's like, she says Alpha, I nod back Sovereign Alpha, and he goes, careful now, all this tenderness is gonna make you soft. And like, then he goes around and he's like, when there's like it's like kind of a cold encounter, and then he's like, is there anything more heartwarming than a mother's love? And like, I just love him. And he's like, I can handle a rogue baby bloodsucker on my own. Go. Like, I'm just like, I just love him. Every time he talks, I'm like, I need more of you. I need to hear more. You're the coolest. Sorry, go ahead.
So he refuses to woo Marin, and Sigrid offhandedly reminds him that she is going to eventually have to marry someone, and that he's going to have to suffer through that if it's someone else. And like, do you really want to do that? So he storms out, and he tells her as he's storming out, he tells her of Selah being turned into a siphon and threatens her to like not even look at her. Like, which I was kind of surprised he told her.
I know, I was too.
I'm like, you obviously don't
you
super
hold that
trust
back?
her. And you're over
I'm
here.
like, she just talked about killing her. I don't feel like she's going to have much like,
Love for a
remorse
siphon.
over
Yeah.
killing Selah.
I was super surprised. I don't know if it was to protect Marin because there was no backup plan then because you couldn't install Selah. I'm not sure why he did that, but I was like that. I probably wouldn't have shared that information with Mom.
What I also find interesting is that you don't hear Sigrid really say anything more about it.
No, not in this set of chapters.
Thus far, she has said nothing. And I'm like, wow.
He says it coming up. He's going to say it in another interaction that he has with his mother, how he's like, I'm going to eventually have to kill her. And I will say, I think my other my other unhinged theory that's might be a spoiler is if you look in our artwork in this one, so we get both of those. Notice, so remember, it's coming up when she meets with Sigrid, she tells her that there's only two people who can control shadows, and it's the Queen and it's the Sovereign Alpha. And in that artwork, who's controlling shadows with her?
It's him.
Sigrid gonna die.
Sigrid gonna die.
I have a more
She
like,
gonna
I don't know
die.
what's
And I
happening.
think Stark gonna kill her.
I don't know what's happening in this, but ain't no shadows.
We aren't in Fourth Wing, so it's not lightning either.
Yeah.
Sigrid's she's a weird little bird because like she's described as cold but not unkind, and I'm like, what is y'all's view of kindness?
I don't know
what
how
is
much-
y'all's kindness bar? Because
I don't know
I've
how
never
much we
heard
can
her
trust
speak
her.
and be like, she's so kind.
Like, is she in bed with Alistair and Killian? And
Oh
is just
no, I don't think so.
I
I think
don't
she's in
think
bed
that.
with herself. I think she wants to rule.
Yeah, I think she's just selfish. I think it's just she's very self-serving.
She knows best. She's in charge. She's been running all of the
I'm the boss.
I can do this better. Even, I mean, if you look at actual history and you like really go back into, especially like, I don't know, I did a lot of like British history because I got really into the Tudors, and I think everybody goes through that phase, but I went through that phase. And it's like, but you see all these people who tried to put themselves in a position to where they were basically running the country. They were manipulating the king. Everything was happening according to their plan. And they did that a lot when Queen Victoria first took power, because she was like so tiny and she was really young, and they were like, and a woman, and they were like, ha. And she was like, no, we're gonna do it my way.
Love that.
But
I feel like Marin needs a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I think she's asking, like, help me.
she also needs to, I mean, I understand she's very out of her element and she doesn't understand what's going on, but at some point, like, girl, you're gonna have to put your foot down. You're gonna have to be like, no, we're not doing that.
Well, she did put her foot down on not getting naked.
That's true.
Yeah, and killing.
But
the
would she
people
have if she was
fired.
told that she had no choice? Because a lot of times she's being told too bad, so sad, and she's just caving.
Like, well, I guess if it's how it's done. I didn't want the red flowers, but I guess if people expect the red flowers.
I'm like,
Well, she's like, it's just such a waste.
and all like the weird dancey stuff, the pornographic dancing.
I know, I love how everyone's like, did we need the strippers? Like,
For a coronation? I'm
Is
like, this
this
was very
classy?
clearly, I'm like, this was
Are
very
we
clearly
flash?
a man's idea. Like, this was the last king's idea.
I love Selah though. She's like, she's so flexible. Like, as she's like eating her venison, you know?
She's over there just jamming out.
She's so talented. You go, girl. I do like that she's like, pay them triple whatever we're paying them.
Yeah. She's like, worth
Listen.
every penny. So in chapter 9, we go back to Marin's point of view, and her personal attendant, I think her name was Brianna. I didn't write her name down, but she's super, because she only shows up like this one time, but she's super jumpy. And so she attempts to put her at ease by chatting with her while she helps her get ready to meet with the Sovereign Alpha and the rest of the council. And they end up like doing a lot better by the end of that. And her friends show up, and Tomlinson compliments Brianna on her work on making Marin look so nice. And Isabella thinks he's flirting with her, and she gets real upset. So they end up going back and forth, and Neva, where's the damn guide?
Is it Neva?
Is it Neva? I don't
I
know.
don't say never, I think.
Never.
Never.
Like never.
Never ever.
Never ever. We all
So,
went to the same
never.
place. I love that.
Never.
Says that they just need to like have sex and get it over with already. She's tired of the bickering. So Marion goes and she meets with her council and gets introduced to everyone, including Noemi.
It's Noemi, I think.
Noemi. Okay, that's how I
Yeah,
pronounced it while I was reading it. I was
yeah.
like, this guide would have been handy earlier. So
I feel like Stark needs to just go ahead and tell Marin that they're like platonic, because he knows that she's jealous. There's no way that he doesn't. Like, is this just doing it for him? Like, what? Like, there's nothing there. But I love when he was like, Noemi already took care of it for me, like the tattoo or whatever. And she's like, of course she did. And I'm like, there's no way you're not picking up on that. Shield or no shield. Like,
so Noemi is like shows up there because she's half noble. She's the daughter of Lord Eisenfall, and she's also, her mother was bonded, and she's also a bonded. So when Stark arrives, Noemi and him greet each other very warmly. It's like the first time we see Stark not be grumpy with someone else, and they end up sitting next to each other and chatting. And he's
really closely.
Yeah,
Honestly,
touching each
I
other.
thought maybe they were a thing.
I know.
I did too.
Well, we
She's
did
stroking his
I thought
arm.
we got something earlier where Stark mentions Noemi.
He does.
That
Because he mentions he's excited to see her again.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I think that they used to be something,
I think they used to be as well.
but then they just became friends.
Platonic besties.
Right.
Well, that's going to have to change.
I actually like Noemi. At first, I was like, "Am I gonna hate her?" You know,
Like her.
but
Well,
I
she's-
like her.
She's
I'm like,
honestly
of
caught in the
course.
middle.
I'm like, of course, she's super nice, and she's like the most gorgeous thing ever. Is it? You know, some people just doubly blessed.
So, oh god, I lost my page. Hang on, wait a minute. We will find it.
Noemi. They're sitting closely.
Yeah. Okay. So Marin ends up becoming a little jealous for the first time. Which then I did chuckle because she's like yelling at Anassa of like, "Hey, did you maybe like open your bond up on accident?" And she's like, "No, that petty jealousy is all yours."
That's all yours.
Enjoy.
Yeah. So Marin is then informed that Alpha Tormund will hunt down Killian. And she's upset because she's like, I'm the queen, also an alpha, and I have not been consulted on any of these things. And she insists that she needs to go as well. And she's promptly just basically told no, which she's, again, still very upset about because she's like, because they're like, oh, it's just one siphon. It's not like it's like a whole army. And she's like, you are super underestimating this guy. Like, he has all my powers. He's
Like, it is not a siphon.
He's like, not
the
only
siphon.
he's like the king of gaslighting. Like, you gotta really look out for this guy. So,
What's his name shows up. He's like, listen, I'm on your side. We can do this.
we could be a team.
We could be a team. Next thing you know,
That's why she's not wrong, and that's why I'm kind of really questioning
Sigrid's judgment.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Well, but she's the new queen. I mean, like, are you going to put her in a position where she could get?
Does
And
she
she's
have
not
a
super
deal with
trained.
the
She has like no
Titans?
control over her powers.
But she's
she hasn't
also
even been
not-
coronated yet. Like, I do get it from a political standpoint. Her ass needs to. She is kind of a figurehead, and she needs to be back, and she needs to learn to trust her people and to delegate. Like, that's part of being a good leader.
While yes, I do agree with that. I feel like she's acting like he's just this like run of the mill siphon, and I'm like, you literally heard how he was able to connect to everybody, and that is only the regent and the
I am
sovereign
questioning.
alpha that can do that.
I
Like,
am questioning Sigrid's loyalty.
well,
I can't help it.
again, Sigrid
'Cause
is
she
about
is selfish.
Sigrid. So I think that she would. I don't
What
necessarily
if Killian
feel.
went to her and was like, "Let's make a deal.
I don't.
Let's make a deal," because she is selfish. Just how selfish is she? Is she going to throw the pack under? And
I don't know.
I mean, I bet you she feels like she can rule everything and rule them.
I mean, I guess it would depend on the promises that Killian made. Like, I don't think
Killian
I don't think
married
that
her.
she's easily swayed. I think there would have to be it would have to be a pretty sweet deal. Like, I mean, it would.
So she ends up conceding that while she won't go, but she does want Killian to be brought back so she can execute him personally. She's also, which I was like, girl, I don't know if that's any better in the concession department, because I felt like that was kind of dumb because it puts a lot of risk. He could escape during that. Like, now they got to catch him alive.
Well, he also has to get this stupid bracelet off her wrist. To be fair,
That's true. That's true. Didn't think about that. I'm just
But
over
with
here
the
like, I thought it was just a
bracelet,
personal
he's dead.
vendetta. And
I
I'm like,
don't know
girl,
if it's
just
like a
let him die.
fingerprint thing, like drag his dead body back. And
But
just
if
like,
he's dead, would it have any power if he's dead?
What?
We don't see. We don't know. It's
I don't
just
know.
too soon.
Alistair be like going into some random person.
Probably her.
Probably her.
So she also is
Very
told that
hard.
she needs to meet with the mother priestess before the coronation, and that Stark and Noemi are going to be leaving to go, visit all the nobles and get them on board to attend the coronation. By the end of the dinner, Marin is left dealing with the fact that while she may or may not, she's queen, but she's actually really not in charge of really anything because all these decisions are just being made for her. After she returns to her room, Stark shows up with tattoo equipment, informing her that she needs her tattoos from her kill back in the arena for like those dozen people
All
she killed.
12.
Yeah. So in chapter 10, Stark takes in the mess in her room and is still upset about the mess. And he,
I love
at first,
how the mess is what's grounding him.
Yeah.
well, and at
He's over
first,
here like, man, she is gorgeous, but look at the mess.
and at first, he assumes the servants are refusing to like take care of her, and he's pissed about it. And then Marin's like, "No, I just won't let them clean. Like they're great."
He's like, I tried to give you an out.
Yeah, and so Stark kind of like gets crappy with her, and he's like, basically, you need to clean up your own mess. And Marin's a little turned on by it, honestly. She's like, I like bossy Stark. Like, this could be
Didn't
fun.
he call her something? Like, I feel like he said a
Just
filthy,
a
little,
filthy little
princess.
princess.
She was like,
Yeah.
talk dirty to me.
And then she's like, what happened to my queen? Act like a filthy little princess and get treated like one. And apparently, yeah, that's what happened.
That's where she was like, all right.
I was like, I feel like we're learning a little bit of something about her.
She's just like, I'll keep that in mind.
I think she's learning a little something about herself at that moment.
So Stark tells her that she can pick where the tattoos go, and she chooses her ribs. That way, if someone stabs her, they're going to have to push through, the tattoos. And it's also a reminder to herself that she needs to get control of her power. So as Stark tattoos her, she realizes that she doesn't want him to leave on this diplomatic mission because when he's around, she actually feels safe. And when he's done, he does his little lick of that tattoo. A little more than he needed to. He did it twice. It's not in the protocol. It's not in the book.
2 passes.
2 passes. So by chapter 11, then we have where they have almost kissed, but did not, because Stark turns away from her. But before leaving, he warns her to be careful around his mother while he's gone. So Marin reaches out to Anassa, who is apparently saying her own goodbyes to Kratos. She immediately throws up this wall, but then tries to blame on what happened with Stark, on what was like leaking through the bond, even though she knows very much so in her own head. She's like, but Prob's not. The next day, she meets Sigrid in the royal chambers. Looking around, she's disgusted by all the opulence and waste, and also, honestly, it's ugly. Like, just in the description.
Why
like,
would
if you're
you
gonna go
jewel
all
a
in,
fox's eyes?
yeah, like, if you're gonna go all in, like, at least do
Make
it
it classy.
tastefully. At least get a designer. So Sigrid, for the first time, agrees with her and asks her what she wants to do about it. And Marin says she wants to sell it all and use the money and put it back into the communities. And Sigrid's like, got it, on it. Sigrid also informs her that as the queen, the different powers that she now is going to have, including communicating with everybody, which she already knows, but she's also going to have pack powers. She also has all the pack's powers. Like their individual, each pack has their own powers, but the shadows aren't a pack power. And so she asks about that, and Sigrid tells her that the shadows only are given, like only the queen has shadows, and also only the sovereign alpha can use the shadows, which is called shade bending. And this is again my theory of where I think Sigrid's gonna die, because somehow, and
That's right, because he doesn't get her powers until
he becomes sovereign alpha.
and we know from that picture what will happen.
So I feel like that could be the case. Sigrid tells her she is to train with the new powers, but also asks her to give up her role as Strategos Alpha and name a new one. Marin doesn't want to give that up because she's like, I actually feel like I can kind of do that job. And I'm comfortable with it. And she doesn't want to let that go. And the role of queen, she has no idea what she's doing and she feels really out of place. So she just wants something that she feels good about and feels like she can actually do well.
But you feel, I'm like, I don't know if you necessarily feel good about being alpha. It's just something that you don't feel, you've known about it longer.
Yeah. But Anassa actually encourages her to give up that role, explaining to her that as queen, she has to care about all of the packs and all of, each one of them. And she has to take care of all of them and prioritize all of them. And as Strategos alpha, the alphas of each individual pack prioritize their pack, and she can't be seen prioritizing one pack over the other. And it's just naturally, as an alpha, you're going to want to do that. And so she's like, you really should actually probably do that. And tells her to put Aegith as the new alpha because Aegith is going to be loyal to her. So that's what
And I agree with that.
Marin agrees to do. Yeah. And actually, once Anassa explained it, I was like, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So later, Killian tries to communicate with all of the bonded again, letting them know that he is in Ravenfrost and has been welcomed there with open arms. Between her and Anassa, they're able to throw up like a wall to keep him out and shut his little form of communication down with everybody. After, she asked Sayla if she heard him, and Sayla like is adamant that she doesn't, but I just get weird vibes. I feel like
She also gets really defensive about it.
yeah, and I'm just like, wouldn't you be like, no?
I wonder if it's coming across to Sayla like dreams too. And like, I don't know if that, I mean, and like maybe she's thinking like, this is just a dream, or if maybe like she's just really trying to fight it, but she sleeps a lot.
Does sleep a lot.
And so I don't know. I'm like, is it maybe like she's not trying to lie? She just doesn't realize that it is what it is.
Well, and if in the sire bond they're being compelled to do something and she's being compelled to tell her no, you have no communication with me, then she's going to tell her no.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Because she's so defensive.
Guess we're going to find out, hopefully.
I mean,
eventually.
it's obvious. It's either already happening and she's lying, or it's going to happen and be super apparent when it happens. So
yeah, you don't drop a sire bond thing and then it never show back up. So like something's going to happen with it.
you're like, well, I guess there wasn't one after all.
So in chapter 12, we get Stark's point of view again, and he's traveling with Noemi. She asks about the mate bond, and Stark is like, nothing is happening. And even Noemi's like, sure, buddy, sure.
Nothing's happening.
So as they camp, it's clear that while there was something between Noemi and Stark, they are now just friends that just have a lot of history together. They grew up together. He felt protective of her growing up, and things like that. So the whole night, he can't stop thinking about Marin. And he yells at Kratos for having the bond open. And Kratos is like, shields are strong as ever. That's on you. And so they arrive
Mighty Alpha. I love that. Shields are as strong as ever, Mighty Alpha. Thinking about her, huh? Like, I just love him. I really want him. I know that they're not supposed to. I know that. But I really want him and Marin to chat. Like, I really want to hear what he has to say to Marin.
So they arrive at Eisenfall, which is Noemi's noble side of her family, who like basically disowned her. Like they don't want really anything to do with her. And it's it's pretty apparent right off the bat. But also that family just seems to be like her father and like a metric shit ton of cousins. Just cousins everywhere.
Cousins. Which is why I guess he didn't really think anything of it when he offed one of them.
Offed one. It's like
there's plenty to spare.
Cousins, second cousins, third cousins, cousins' cousins, cousins' wives, cousins' ex-wives, sons and daughters of cousins.
It's giving Alabama. So when they approach her father, she attempts to be polite as he asks about their trip and asks about her mother, who was killed on the front lines. And she's like, well, she's still dead. And he asks about why they're there, and they inform him about the coronation, which he waffles on whether or not they're going to be attending, saying that, well, they've always been loyal to the previous king and his family, and that they've been really good to him, and that like Killian's argument's pretty like believable. And meanwhile, a drunk cousin approaches Noemi and implies that she was basically whoring herself out to the previous king, and that now that he's dead, asking if she's just gonna whore herself out to the new queen or if she already has. And Stark just kills him like instantly. It
happened so fast I almost wasn't sure that he actually killed him. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, he's dead.
He's dead.
Got it.
Stark didn't play. Stark's like, we won't be doing that. None of that.
Actually, I had to go back and reread that because I just went right by it. Like, he's dead.
So suddenly everyone is in agreement that they're going to attend coronation after that. They're like, you know what? We can go.
We've had a change of heart. You know what? We love a free dinner,
So Marin calls him mentally, like right away too, and is asking him if he's okay because she felt something and she's worried about him, which he's kind of surprised. He's like, she's worried about me. Like,
this is the first time they've chatted mind to mind, I think.
And she's also worried he's doing something reckless. She's like, you're not out there like killing people, are you? And when he admits what he did, they kind of argue because, she's like, I don't want you killing people. And he's like, listen, Like, just let me do my damn job. Like, I know what I'm doing.
It's just a cousin.
Be like, have you seen
No one's
have you
gonna
seen
miss
me? Tattoos everywhere. Like,
And he tells her that the only way to convince them to come is basically, it's like how he's doing things. And that if she doesn't want to rule through fear, that she can fix it later, like after the coronation. But we just got to get peace people to the coronation. So, like,
That's fair.
in chapter 13, Marin is struggling, learning to control the shadows. And Anassa actually asks her if she's somehow getting worse at it. And she's found that it's actually really easy to control all the other pack's powers. Like, she has no issues with that. It's just the shadows are still a problem. So I don't know if it's the bracelet or if it's
And
because
NASA's
of...
like, it appears that you have made backward progress.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's like Killian's influence in the bracelet or if it's just like because of her emotions, because they seem to be very tied to her emotions. I'm not sure what her problem is, but she's having a little trouble with them. So she ends up meeting the mother priestess, who's just creepy AF. And that priestess immediately like hones in on her crown, right? And is like being super kind of swipey
she
about it.
pulled
She
like a Bilbo
snatches it
in
from
the
her.
movie of the Fellowship of the Ring, when like he's like, "Ah," like that's how it, because it's like suddenly the mother priestess, and she's like lunging for this thing, and Anassa's like, okay, I read that wrong, because didn't Anassa say like, oh, they're gonna be fine, they're super loyal, and then suddenly she's like, okay, well, all right. Like that's a change.
Well, when Anassa says one of the most dangerous types of humans to exist, we must keep an eye on her, I feel that we must keep an eye on her. I'm telling you, she's going to be stealing.
Well, when she, after the
those
thing, when
jewels.
she saw the necklace and she was like, I've got to keep it, you don't deserve it, or whatever, I was like, who are you to say? Like, this is obviously something that's been in her family for a long time, you hateful thing. But like, when she literally was like,
I haven't figured out if the priestess is it just, I don't know if it's just because they're not religious, so she feels like they don't honor the goddess, so like they shouldn't have it, like they're not entitled to it, like it needs to stay with someone who would be, religious like that. I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet.
It
their
could be a
whole
little
thing-
bit of both. But
Tell
she
me,
is going
Marin's-
about it crazy.
Tell me, Marin Sternfrost, are you a true believer? I have found comfort in praying to the faceless goddess during times of need. I answer truthfully, hoping it's enough. Sees through me at once. But you were not raised attending temple services? You have not formed a deep personal relationship with the goddess or any of her stewards? You do not let her grace guide your life in all matters? No.
But maybe,
But I hope my lack of a past relationship with the sect of the faceless goddess will not impede my future when I have an open mind. Her response is just, I'm like,
well, and I wonder if too it's just
gonna chew on it.
another thing of control, because that statement of you don't let the goddess control your life, basically guide you. So that would be the church or like whatever their equivalent, their temple or whatever, would have a lot of influence over her rule if she gives herself over to that. So it could be a power play too. I don't
was
know.
that
Well,
a big deal with that Cyril guy? Were they? Because like that seems a little interesting, considering how much
the mother does mention the opal on the crown, saying that it's a goddess tier, and Marin reluctantly lets her look at the crown as that woman's kind of like drilling her and interrogating her about her religion and her faith. And the priestess seems super unimpressed with her answers, as Catherine read. Just seemed, So she slowly ends up giving the crown back at Marin's request before leaving to her rooms, and that's when Anassa calls her a zealot and that they like need to watch her and be careful. Venna takes Marin the next day to the bonded city to see someone else about the bracelet and the sword. They decide to take their friends with them because they can go home and see their family since they'll be in the bonded cities. And during that ride, Tommenson and Isabella are holding hands, and the other friends report that they're together now. Like together everywhere, and it's really gross. They're like, they could just stop. So Marin offers to visit all of the families with them, and Tommenson and Neva are pretty wary because apparently their families don't support her and have been talking about going to Ravenfrost to support Killian, which triggers Anassa to attack Tommenson's wolf at that, and Marin calls her off, and they kind of get in a little bit of a fight because Anassa's like, loyalty amongst the pack at all costs, and Marin's like, we're not zealots, we're not gonna be like that, like that's not who we are. So once they're back from that trip, Sayla asks how the trip went, and Marin was like basically this guy was no help, but the bracelet is apparently siphon made, and he told her maybe don't chop off your hand because that magic may backfire and kill you. So no plans to chop off her hand immediately. The blade again was confirmed by a second person now that they don't think it was human forged. But no one seems to know how to like fix it either. So Sayla seems really disappointed because this was like the one thing she was kind of interested in and was kind of keeping her out of a funk. And so Marin kind of wants to give her something else to like distract her and focus on. And so she tells her about the opal necklace and the crown and how they're similar, and what the goddess had told her, or not the goddess, the priestess had told her, thinking like, hey, you can help me with this instead. So in chapter 14, we get a Stark point of view again, and they're escorting back some of the nobles for the coronation, and he's lamenting to Noemi that like he just can't wait to be done with this job because they're super disgusting, and he's just over dealing with them because like the last night they were camping out and around the campfire, like some of them were discussing the coronation traditions, and apparently the last coronation with the king, like they had to get naked and be like rubbed with oil. And they were all like, can't wait to see the new queen naked, and were like being really gross about it. And Kratos apparently went and ate one of the horses because he was in retaliation.
I love him.
He's so funny. So Noemi tells him to just go ahead and go back to the castle, that they're almost there. She can deliver them. Like, it's no big deal. So when he gets back, his mother is waiting for him to follow up with the report. And she informs him that Marin said that she would do the oil during the coronation, but refuses to get undressed, which apparently the priestess was irritated about. So I think that calmed Stark down a little bit because he was not thrilled with that part of the coronation. So he ends up telling her that the room's going to be full for the coronation, despite that Ravenfrost is not going to obviously be there. And during that, you kind of discover that like whoever like the house of Ravenfrost is, or that lord is, their 12-year-old daughter is waiting on Killian personally. It's getting pedophile.
I was like, or does it just run in the family? Like what? I'm like, is this a genetic trait? Because wasn't Cyril, or what do we say? Was it Cyril?
They were all into kids. I don't know.
He was like really into kids, and I'm like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
What?
So before he leaves, Sigrid informs him she decided that he's going to marry the queen, and that way they can proxy rule. So that way they can proxy rule the throne through him being married to her. But then Stark quickly realizes that the goal is for him to get her impregnated as quickly as possible, and that once that happens and there's a child that's a Therian Sturmfrost heir, that Sigurd's going to kill Marin. And so at this point he's in his head like, I have to kill my mom. Like there's no other choice. I'm going to have to off mom. But he also knows that he needs her to get through the coronation. So he's like, we're just going to postpone this till after the coronation. But like, girl, you got to go.
If he wants to kill his own mom, we shouldn't trust her.
Well, I don't trust her. I just don't know what. I feel like it's kind of like I don't trust her for different reasons than I don't trust Killian. Like I don't trust her. Well, they're both selfish, but they're both wanting their own. Well, I don't know. He's really wanting. You know what?
Her hunger for power has made her delusional.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what are her boundaries?
Who do you guys picture for her? Do you guys picture anybody specific?
Who's the girl who played she was in Game of Thrones, and she played the twin, Tyrannish twin. I think she ends up being queen, like the evil.
I don't remember.
Is this the guy? Is it
girl? Cersei? Was her name Cersei? Cersei Lannister.
The blonde?
The one that does her brother.
Her, but with dark hair?
Yeah.
I can see that.
She gives evil face.
Yeah, I can see that. That works. That's not
She's
bad.
the one who...
Although she's very white, and he's very tan, so I feel like she also needs to be tan. So I don't know.
Who's his daddy?
Who's his daddy?
Stark's.
What if he's a problematic?
We don't know. Why are the parents the problematic people? The ones that should know better.
Cast as like bad guys per se. I also picture her with like a cropped haircut.
The lady who played in Wicked.
Yeah, she did a good job of that.
Are you talking about Elphaba?
No.
I was like...
The one that was...
She was
trying to basically...
She was at the school. She was one of the teachers at the school.
Yeah. She was supportive, but
like
also
the headmistress
gaslighting them.
School.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of Wicked. I started watching it with James, and we got like 30 minutes in, and he was like, I don't like it. And so we changed it.
Wow.
Well, it is a musical.
He doesn't care for a musical. I ended up
I'll never forget taking Chuck to see was it Into the Woods? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was getting ready to say the exact. We have the same husband in just different years.
He
Like-
showed up. He just thought it was just going to be like a, you know, like a kids Disney-ish flick, because we did bring the kids, and then the music started and he just like looked at me with like death eyes, just like he's like, you didn't tell me it was a musical.
It's a musical.
James leans over because we also went to see it in theater, and he goes, "Did you know that this was a musical? Like,
Yes,
did you know?"
I did.
And I'm like,
I did.
I was like, you didn't? Common knowledge, James. Gosh.
So
you don't do
anyway,
your
so
research.
back
You
to
don't
Fury,
miss-
leaving his mother and like storms out, and he runs into Marin, who has like dark circles under her eyes, and she looks like she's lost a bunch of weight while he's been gone and isn't sleeping, and he straight up just tells her that she looks like shit. Just you don't do that to a girl, like, but which she doesn't take well, obviously. And she like turns and tries to slam the door on him, but he stops her and gets her to invite him in by asking if she wants to know how the trip went.
I also want to say one of the most relatable things about Marin is that he says that she looks that way, and out of concern because it looks like she hasn't been sleeping, and the way she takes it is he thinks that she's a hideous toad. And I'm like, if that's not the
And also
ultimate
she said
girl
something
move-
about her room, and he's like, you're not a hideous toad, but never says anything about the room.
Yeah, and my room is a squalid pit. And like, if that's not the most relatable thing ever, like if my husband were to be like, you look tired or something like that, I would just be like, oh, so I'm ugly. like thank you for telling me how you really feel after all these years. Like,
That's like if my husband's like, you shouldn't eat that, and I'll be like, is it because I'm fat? And he'll be
right.
like, no.
Exactly.
He's like, because that's gonna hurt your tummy later. I was like, fair, but also, do you think I'm fat?
100%. Like literally, like James will say something about like eating healthier or like different things, and I'm like, are you trying to tell me I need to lose weight? And he's like, I'm trying to say that I need to lose weight. But I'm like, do you feel like this needs to be a group effort? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, do you, and he's just like, I don't know. No.
He could just be saying what he's actually saying.
Yeah, no, for sure he is. Like 100%.
Like,
And depending
But we're just
on where I'm at.
girls.
y'all just being girls.
I know, man. I'm over here. I'm just like waiting for the day he wakes up and looks over at me, and he's just like,
My favorite is if like you normally, I could like dress in a trash bag, and my husband would be like, you look great, let's go. But like every once in a while, he'll just like look at me, and he'll be like, is that what you're wearing? And not in any way meaning it negative. Not because he thinks my outfit looks bad. He'll just like one of the times it was because he thought I looked too nice and he wasn't wearing something nice. And he's like, do I need to change in his head? But all I take it as is like, you hate what I look.
James has before been like, do you think that matches? He has said that to me before, yeah. That was a while ago. That was early on. He's learned since then. But like,
Did it match? Now I'm curious.
so James is very like, there are some things that don't traditionally match, but now like people don't really have issues with it, like, and so
Like black and navy blue.
yeah, but like even like other things like mixing like your browns and blacks
And your brown
like,
and black.
things
yeah.
like that. And
Yeah, like, and I've seen people
That's-
mix, like
people do
purples
that
and
now.
reds, which I still don't like, but
yeah, so like I think
people do great with it. I just couldn't.
I think if I remember correctly, it was something that like didn't classically match, but like it looked fine. And
I see other people mix patterns, and I'm like, that's adorable. I can't do it. I don't know how
I
to mix
cannot
a
mix
pattern. Every time
patterns.
I do it, I look like a puzzle got put together.
I've seen, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes it makes my eyes hurt depending on, like, I ain't lying. I've seen some things,
It
like
depends.
camo and a flower pattern.
I
mean,
think
I
can
was
do
like,
that. I've seen like
you know.
polka dots and stripes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's really cute. But if I've ever tried it, I'd be like, no, that doesn't work
or
together.
camo and plaid. Like,
Why-
your eyes just
Why
strain.
is yours always camo?
It is, though. That's what I see. Like, this is where I live. People
I
be
just-
mixing all kinds of things
I
with
just
camo.
pictured someone with like a
Like,
camo
someone's just
t-shirt,
really desperate to wear their
plaid
mossy
blazer.
oak out.
Or like the mini skirt from Clueless with like a camo top,
I
As
don't
if.
know.
Y'all.
It makes my eyes water. And I see you or not. Are you blending in or not?
Half the time, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing as far as clothes go. It's just kind of like we're just rolling. It's fine. We'll be okay.
I'm
A
just
lot of it
t-shirt and
depends too
pants.
on how I feel that day. If I'm feeling really good, it's not so bad. But if like
You look like a runway model 95% of the time.
I do
You
not.
look gorgeous.
But that is very sweet of you. But I do not. But
literally every
I'm gonna get
you'll
frustrated
text-
over the ball dress, and I'm gonna probably show up in pants and a t-shirt, just be like, you know what, I'm over it.
She will literally be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dressed like such a homeless person, or I'm dressed like a hobo. I'm so Adam Sandler."
put
And she'll show up,
together.
and I'm like,
It's the
"Dad,
cutest
got
thing.
it! You look beautiful. What is wrong?" Like
It's
it's
like, how
it's
do
so
you make
cute.
sweatpants look good?
How do you do that? Like she and 100%. Like it is comfy clothes, but it's like chic.
To put together.
It's like it looks so good. I'm over here like my hair is like halfway. Y'all showed up one time. I was still in a robe because I had my underwear in the dryer.
it's your house. Your
That was the day that made
Catherine's not that kind of party.
I was like, I'm sorry. Y'all came earlier than unhinged. Obviously, I wasn't, my time management skills aren't with it. Anyway, we can cut that out.
Okay. Back to FuryBound. We're almost to the end. We're like right there.
It would have cut out right at my, where was it?
Oh, it's staying in. Everyone's gonna know. He tells her that he managed to not kill anyone on the rest of the trip, and that she was gonna be real proud of him for that. And she asks if he needs a tattoo for the kill that he had, which Sayla interrupts. Hi, Misty.
Also, that was very
Like that. Sayla interrupts.
That was very bold, I feel like, of Marin to be like,
I know.
can I help you with the tattoo? I'm like,
So
She knows what
Sayla
she was
interrupts them saying hello, and Marin tells her to tell him about what she's researching with the necklace and the crown and the goddess tier and stuff. And Stark promises to look into it too for them. And as he leaves, he tells her, he like kind of like tosses out, well, not Noemi already did my tattoo, but now that he knows she's interested in, you know, doing those for him, that she can do the next one anywhere she wants. And I was like, I'm like, for a guy who keeps claiming he's not into her and needs to keep his distance, he keeps flirting.
I was like, that was quite the one-liner.
Yeah. So in chapter 15, we hit Coronation Day, and Sayla has to go since it's going to be super weird if she doesn't show up, and people are going to talk, and they don't want people to talk about her or like assume things, especially since she's a siphon. So, and she's learned to keep the fangs away. So, you know, little wins.
Progress.
And they discuss, you know, that they can get her out of there if they need to, whatever. Marin gets dressed, and she has this killer dress, which if you get the special edition, like this version, you get that dress that they describe in it. Like, look at how good she looks.
Oh, that's
NASA looking good too.
Yeah.
This is the coronation dress?
Yeah, that's the coronation dress. That's exactly how they described it. So
That
looks
is
like
very
it.
pretty. Yeah.
it is very pretty. So it's in your artwork in the front if you're curious. So during the ceremony, the priestess is wearing a ring that has the same opal that's the crown and the necklace. And also is like irritated that Sayla has the necklace and kind of like is being kind of grabby about it. So
Maybe it's what Marin thought. She just wants matching sets.
but real into the jewelry.
She's really into it.
So after repeating the vows, the priestess eventually, after Anassa growls at her, places the crown on Marin's head and proclaims her queen. And then the throne room doors just burst open and the chapter freaking ends, which I'll admit.
I was like, Mary, really?
I did read.
I did not read. Well, look. So while
I only read one extra chapter, but I had to
Well,
know
y'all-
who came in.
y'all have read ahead, so while y'all were talking, I was like, who came in? And then I read it.
Okay.
So now I know.
We'll discuss it next week who came in. So next week we are covering chapters 16 through 30 of
30.
FuryBound. Yes. So you're going to stop when you see the number 31, Elizabeth.
I'll stop. Hey, I did not read ahead this time, and I really wanted to. Like,
It was
I
hard to
really wanted
stop. I got to that and I was like, and
I
it was
was
already
like,
like
really?
midnight, and I was
Really?
just like, I'm like, well, who came in? Like, I got to know.
Misty, you've gotten yourself in a predicament, girl.
Did you ever, hey, Elizabeth, did you ever get to watch The Crash?
No, I have not.
Dang it.
No, well, I feel like I don't need to. I'm gonna be honest, because of all the things I have seen.
I'm like, is it all the videos we
on,
sent?
well, not even just all the things that come across my reels and whatnot. I feel like I've already seen it.
You gotta watch it.
You gotta
Like,
watch
I know
it.
what
it's
she's-
crazy. It's crazy.
I know what she's
when
done,
she
and
comes
people
out
were
with that
making
bun
fun
on
of
her head
her.
and the accent, like the jailbird accent.
What? Her hair.
Do I look okay? Do I look okay?
Okay.
Do I look okay?
Was that
It's
good?
like a Wilma. It's
that
like
good?
a
Was it too
Wilma
much?
Flintstone thing happening up here.
I
don't
just
even
really
know.
want to drive home. Just the remorse
Yeah.
that I'm feeling
But she
for
had
everyone
like
involved.
She had like a swoop. Hold on.
It was on top of her head.
Yeah, and she
Which
had,
then,
like,
so then, have you seen the girl who's done a couple of posts? She stayed in that same jail or prison as her, that
I
women's
feel like I
prison,
did.
and she's like, I was there with her, and that girl's got like 100 girlfriends and is like just a whole problem up in there, and is a mean girl even in the prison. Like, that whole thing is wild. It's wild.
y'all need a baby kitten.
James is allergic.
All right.
I was trying to see if
Okay.
Oh, she posted. We're gonna have to look at that. The girl, did she win? I wonder.
So y'all are talking about
The girl with the that got pulled over. That doesn't
the
have a
nub?
right arm. It doesn't have a right hand. And he said that I saw you driving with the right hand or whatever.
well, going back to that quadruple amputee.
Yes. My glass.
Watch this be a commercial. Of course it is. Lord of the Rings. Go get your
Sponsored
little
by-
Lord of the Rings.
Chapter 1 brought to you.
Little
by-
Let's get a little
And now to
crochet project.
Janelle, what more can you tell us about this case?
Well, look, Mugo, this is a bizarre and disturbing story. The center of this story is someone who would be considered to be an inspiration up until now. A 27
Get it,
so
buddy.
cornhole player who's won multiple tournaments before.
Okay, hold on. Pause that for a second.
So Weber was out with a couple of friends.
Okay.
At no point during any career education that I got in high school or college was professional cornhole player given to me as an opportunity. I'm just gonna
Facts.
point that out.
There were a lot of things. So you saw quadruple amputee, professional cornhole player. This guy shot his friend while driving.
Honestly, it just makes me feel a little inadequate. Like I'm not doing enough with my life. Like I have all my limbs, and
So when you are feeling like, I can't do it, suck it up, Buttercup. Yes, you can. That's what I'm talking about. But you can do it. But yeah, so look it up. It shows him practice shooting, like target shooting a gun. It shows him doing that. But yeah, he shot his friend while driving. Should I say allegedly? I don't know if he's gone to court yet, but it's on the news.
we'll go with allegedly.
We'll go with
There's
allegedly.
no fingerprints on the gun.
Golly. Circumstantial evidence.
This is why we can't do true crime.
When you were telling me about that, or when you were just saying, and you were just like, the guy that he has no arms or legs, and he
I can't
shot
believe
his
you hadn't
friend.
heard it. This happened like in Maryland. It's
But
not
he's
that.
a cornhole, like and I was just like, I love how she was more like
Quadruple amputee.
she
That's
was
where you
more
start.
like he is a
Cornhole player.
player champion. He just happened to shoot his friend, but let's talk about the cornhole. That was like how you came across.
Because everyone was
explaining
like,
that.
how? But you didn't know he shot him while he was driving. They had an argument. He turned around and went pop, pop.
I just don't.
Maybe he went pop, pop.
Does he
I don't
have
know
a?
if he did. I don't know how
does he
his car
have
is
a-
set up.
Does he have any like prosthetic?
Well, he
didn't
didn't.
in the
He didn't
cornhole.
have it with the picture of.
He had 3 people in his vehicle. He was driving his Tesla
Three?
SUV.
He's got it. Oh, the test.
He was in a Tesla. Was it a self-driving? Maybe it's a self-driving Tesla. That's cold-blooded. He's like, hey guys, so can we just like dump the body? We got to go. We got cornhole to get to.
But it has, like, if you look at videos, it does have him holding a gun. Like, I don't want to. I
don't know if we
I
can
don't
show
know.
that.
I mean, the beginning of this video had it. Like, if I don't click play, because that's the video I had up. Like,
Okay, he can hold it, but how is he pulling the trigger?
his little.
Maybe
I
he's
wish
got
it-
like a little,
his little what?
he's got like a little appendage on his nub.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you hold.
So look at
You
this
hold
angle.
it, but how are
look
you?
at that angle.
Yeah, what is that? I don't
It's part of
understand.
it.
He must have got like a little thing.
He's got a little bone there.
Got a little flipper to his nub.
Oh no.
We might have to cut all of this.
Yeah.
I feel like it, yeah.
Anyway, next
just
week,
Google it.
16 through 30.
How did we even get on that?
Next
I
week.
don't know. Oh, she was gonna chop
Cut off her.
arm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The places we go, you
16
never know.
through 30.
All right,
Next
next
week.
week, 16 through 30, FuryBound. We will see everybody then.
Look at how shiny.
I know. I took my dust jacket off. Bye.